You don't have to be a football historian or even a superfan to know that back in 1966, England ruled the footballing world, lifting their first and only World Cup trophy. Bobby Moore, Geoff Hurst and co. beat a strong German side 4-2 at Wembley, and the future looked bright for the nation that invented the sport we know today. However, fast forward 52 years, and other than impressive displays at World Cup 90 and Euro 96, the Three Lions haven't threatened to win a major honour, instead turning out displays that have been infuriating, disappointing and downright tragic for us fans to watch.
Oh my word.
So what is it that we, the fans, think Gareth Southgate and his squad need to do next year in Russia, and what steps would we take to ensure our young players fulfil their potential and turn England into the superpower it was 50 years ago? If you were to look at England's youth setup and the youth setup alone, you would like to think the future is bright for England. In 2017, the under-17 and under-20 teams both won their respective Youth World Cups. With young talents such as Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Phil Foden and Dominic Solanke already gathering attention from the media and the Premier League scouts, can we expect these players to be mainstays of the senior team over the next 20 years? We've gone to talk to some younger football fans to see what they think of youth football in England.
They have to reach further rounds in the World Cup. I believe they have to focus on the youth setup a bit more and getting actual players into first teams in the Premier League to then succeed into the senior teams, as this is not happening enough.
I think they've done very well. There's quite a few good younger teams in the world, but I think until they can get the chances at senior level playing against everyday players that they'd meet in the World Cup, it's going to be hard to judge. Nothing should be taken away from their performance, but they do need to prove themselves on the world stage. And I think they should be given the opportunity to do that if we want to see them succeed.
I think they have the players. They have the quality players. They just don't work well as a team.
Round of 16,
if that.
yeah.
So more opportunities are what England's youngsters need. According to a club licensing benchmarking report, the Premier League currently has the highest percentage of foreign players across European football leagues at 69.2%. So it is no mystery why these opportunities are so few and far between. However, under Gareth Southgate, 11 youngsters such as Tammy Abraham and Harry Winks have made their England debut, so perhaps the importance of English youth football is beginning to be recognised. England's ladies are also impressing on the world stage. In 2015, Steph Houghton and co collected third place medals at the Women's World Cup, losing out only to excellent Japanese and American teams. Is there anything the men's team can learn from the Lionesses? We decided to visit the University of Essex ladies team to get their views. That World Cup.
Personally, I think the ladies played really well. They're going out every year and they're improving more and more. They're training hard. I see a lot of it on Twitter, Instagram. There's a lot of popularity on the ladies, so I think the game is getting stronger and stronger for them. So more popularity is making them play better.
Yeah, I think, again, every year we've done better and better. It is more popular, so it's more competition, and the standard of football is just getting higher and higher.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a lot more coverage over the years. I mean, at first, when I was younger, you didn't really hear about the women's football team, but now it's quite a big thing. I mean,
like you say, they know they're superstars, so they're just going to be like, oh yeah, I know that I'm the best, so I don't care. But the ladies know that they've got that drive and determination to be better than the men. And I think it's more of a bit of a competition with the men's and the women's at the minute. We, as female footballers, we do want to stand out. We still do want to look better than boys, because we've always had that discrimination against us because we're girls and because we want to play football. So I think having that determination and drive from a higher level, it gives us like role models to look up to.
yeah, I mean, Anya said pretty much what I was going to say. I think it is literally because for so long we've not really been that popular. Now that even though they're not getting paid, they're still trying to prove themselves to everyone else. And the men's football team, they've kind of always been popular, so now they're not necessarily doing as well, but the women's football team is propelling.
I think we just have more drive, determination to do better. Like you say, we haven't had the money pumped into our sport like the men's have. Even though we're one sport, we're still classes, we're still genderised, we're still men's and women's. So I think we haven't had the money pumped in like us, so we've got more of that drive to prove to people that we should have that money pumped into us.
Perhaps the men need to share their female compatriots' determination to prove themselves, and remember that they are only human. This mentality seems to have helped the ladies flourish and enjoy success. On the 1st of December 2017, England's first World Cup fixtures were announced. The Lions have been placed in a group with Tunisia, Panama and Belgium. They faced both tougher and weaker groups in the past, but how do these fans from Colchester's Man v Fat League think England will do?
So Belgium, Panama, Tunisia. How many points do you think you're going to get out of this one?
I reckon out of that we'll win 2 games.
Win 2 games?
We've got to win. We've got to beat Tunisia and Panama, haven't we? Yeah. We've got to. Belgium, they're probably too strong, I would have thought, with Hazard and De Bruyne, Courtois, and all the others they got. So I would say they qualify in second place. That's what I would say.
How far after that do you reckon they go?
Not very far, probably. Obviously, depends on the draw. It's hard to say, but you know, there's glimmers of hope with the 2 0-0s, I suppose you could say, against good sides. So got to try and build on that, I suppose.
Lovely, thank you very much.
Young players on the pitch rather than the old has-beens. I think they just get paid too much, and
the problem with the young English players, they don't get a lot of chances at their clubs because you know it's all the big stars and all the rest of it. So Chelsea, as a Chelsea supporter, you know all the people they're out on loan, all the young people they hardly ever get through. You know, so that's a problem in our game for sure.
well, they're brave certainly in the friendlies. So you think hopefully if they carry on being brave, take that into the group stage, I think they'll do well.
Young manager, done well with the youngsters, didn't he? So.
Well, I think that the new way of training is coming through. Hopefully, it will be reflected in the first team. I mean, the old way of doing things slowly will degrade, and we can push forward. Like you say, the women are doing fantastic with a shoestring budget. So you think the men on the millions of pounds that they've got invested should be able to do something nearly as well. But time will tell.
Do you reckon Euro 2028, World Cup 2030, we could see English champions?
That's a bit of a stretch, I would suggest. But then you've got to go into it positively, ain't you? Really, you know, because you have to. It's just a new tournament. You've got to go in positive and see how it goes. That's all you can say. No one's going to know what's going to happen. But I think we'll beat Tunisia. I think we'll beat Panama. Having said that, Iceland. Oh yeah, Iceland. And what about was it Costa Rica? You know, in the last World Cup. So. Who knows, really? Anyway, that's all I've got to say.
I think fans want to see passion. I think it's not necessarily the wins or the losses, but I think we want to see the upset faces when we lose rather than they go back to their 400 grand a week jobs. They're not bothered. Whereas the women get 25 grand a year and they want it. They want the win. I watched them last Tuesday. They want to win. They want to play to win, regardless whether it's 0-0 or 5-0. They'll play to the bitter end where the guys just give up. But you wouldn't be a fan if they kept winning all the time.
Yeah, lovely, Jeff. Thank you very much.
So it doesn't sound like England's year this time around, but who knows? With improving youth opportunities, the future may see an England team built with talent and passion for their nation, ready to make their mark on the footballing world.